So, Dex, you watched a fully LGBTQ movie filled with drag queens and bathhouses, and it was one of your favorites of the year? How could that be? Well, because this film is exceptionally well made. Femme is a film that was directed by Sam H. Freeman, and I'm going to try to pronounce his name, Ng Choon Ping. These are two British directors, and they made a short, also called Femme, and then this is kind of the feature-length extension of that. It's in the festival circuit now. However, because of some tweaks that I could make to my streaming services, it currently has distribution to stream in Ireland and the UK. So I got an opportunity to check it out. I found it. I read the premise. The premise is what sold me completely. And then I decided to give it a shot, and I was able to find it and did. I think this one is going to have an American release closer to March, but it is out there, so it is available if you look for it. I think it's streaming on Kobe, some free streaming service as well, but regardless, I got myself a opportunity to see it. And like I said, the premise sold me completely. Basically, it's about this guy who's a professional drag queen. He dances professionally, and the film opens up with this interesting drag show, because the drag shows I'm used to are quite perverse, and that's why I'm kind of usually like about them. But this one was actually like more on like the beautiful side. Like this person was wearing like a massive gown, and then there's this like female voice playing in the background, which the guy's lip syncing to. It was just done differently, and I don't usually see that, so that was interesting. But there's a hate crime performed on him, and he gets basically the living shit beat out of him by this group of kids. And then he takes a hiatus, like he doesn't want to do drag anymore. He's kind of very straight acting. He's traumatized from this event. And then at a bathhouse or some kind of gay sauna, he runs into this attacker of his there, and he sees this attacker of his at this gay sauna, and he sees this as the perfect opportunity to take revenge. And I'm like, oh shit, that sounds intense. And I was wondering too how they could like make a feature length film about that, because I mean, you would think that the revenge happens pretty quick, but it doesn't, because there's like an interesting relationship dynamic in this film when he starts to make himself into the guy's life, because the guy doesn't recognize him. He's not dressed in drag, so he's able to get into the guy's life quite easily. It's kind of like odd that the gay guy never recognizes the guy that he attacked, because I mean his face kind of still looks the same without the makeup, but regardless, he doesn't recognize him, and then they get together. This guy obviously is closeted gay. He's a very he's basically a sociopath, psychopath. Like he's very, I would call him a rapist essentially. Like it's funny how he's not just raping the shit out of women all the time, because the way he treats these men, these gay men, he always wants to get the upper hand on him and them, and he's like vicious and violent, and the way he speaks to these guys, and this guy in particular, he's just beyond aggressive, like dangerously aggressive, like stupid aggressive. Like he's one of those guys that sits in the bar with his beer, and he's just like staring everybody down, like that you see people like at bars like who think they're tough as baby shit, just like staring you down, and it's like, buddy, I bet you like can't even take one punch, so let's take it easy. But anyways, the film plays, and this guy, the drag queen, plans on getting revenge on this guy, but at the same time he starts kind of having a little bit of Stockholm syndrome and kind of falling for him, and it goes into some interesting dynamics. And I've never seen a film in a long time that plays with power dynamics as interesting as this film plays with them. The script is amazing. The performances are out of this world. This film is purely raw. This film is just raw and intense and devastating, and it's thrilling. Like it really hits you on the violent moments and the moments where you think that one or the other is going to be in danger. And the way that, I don't want to spoil this film too much, I'll just keep it light, but the biggest way that the drag queen wants to get revenge on the other guy is not necessarily physical, but more so like destroying his life kind of thing, exposing him in a sense. And that again raises the question like, what's more horrible, getting the shit beat out of you or completely destroying somebody's life who that's forever kind of thing. Both are tragic. I mean, hate crimes are disgusting in and of themselves. Why the fuck would you beat the shit out of somebody because they are homosexual? Anyways, but at the same time, in the reverse, how do you destroy somebody's life on like that badly? Like, if you're going to expose somebody with anything, regardless of what it is, and put it on the internet for everybody to see, like, that's fucking forever. I was feeling so sorry. As much as I hated this closeted gay guy with a passion, I was feeling like almost on his side in certain points when it came to the exposure and stuff like that, because I just related to my life in the sense where people, and they have blackmailed me with things, regardless of it, like sex aside, but like blackmailed me with anything. Even getting drunk and doing something extremely stupid or saying something extremely stupid and then having something like that caught on video for whatever reason and then somebody holding that against me. Like, that's devastating shit, and that's shit not to be played with. So it's and it goes into so many amazing places, and I just love the rawness of it, the indie making of it, and it's shot beautifully. This film is absolutely amazing. It got a 4.5 from me, but it is so close to a 4 out of 5. If this was out of 100, I'd give it 98. 98 out of 100, hands down, because I absolutely love this film. The ending of this film, sometimes endings gets to me because I'm like, you get to those last 2 minutes and you're like, please don't bring this down. Please don't. You could end this so terribly right now. Please don't. You're on the brim. Don't ruin this movie. And then they don't ruin the movie and they give you that beautiful ending. And it's just like, and then the song they play in the credits, it's just like, I love it. I literally clapped at the end of this movie because of how good everything was when it came to the performances, the writing, the directing, everything. The only nitpick I have with this film is when I said it was raw. It is intense with the gay porn, and it does show lengthy clips of it. Not hardcore. It's not porn actually, but you do see a lot of men on men, and it doesn't bother me. I just like it when it's a little bit more subtle. I don't hate seeing it. It's just not a preference, and I don't understand why people get up in arms when I say that, like, oh, you're homophobic. It's no, I've seen dicks on screen. It's just, it's not, it's not my thing. Like, if a gay guy doesn't like lesbian porn, does he have a problem? Like, it's the same thing. If I don't enjoy seeing man on man on screen for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, how is that a bad thing? I just don't get it. Like, to me, basically watching a guy do anal with a guy, or a guy do anal with a girl, for that matter, to me is the equivalent of watching a man or a woman take a dump. It's literally the equivalent. Like, that's how I feel, exactly the same emotion when I watch either. And to each their own. I know all you kinky bastards have your own thing, and maybe the example I gave you wouldn't have a problem with because that's your thing. 2 girls, 1 cup. But everybody's different, and to me, I'm kind of like, oh, that's enough. Like I said, if it's subtle, I like it. A lot of films do it subtly. You know, Moonlight did it very subtly. I love that. Moonlight's a great film. This one takes it a little bit over the top. It's also kind of unnecessary, I felt. It's like, why is it needed? Because the theme of the film is a little bit different than erotica. Like, it doesn't play that way. So it did feel a little bit unnecessary for me. But I'm not saying that it's completely unnecessary at all, because I'm sure the directors and the writers have had their own creative reasons for putting that in there. And it didn't bring the film down pretty much at all. It's just, I would trim them down a little bit if I was making the film. But that's literally just my opinion. So please don't get mad at me for not liking gay porn. I strongly recommend this film, especially when it gets its United States release. But if you could find it somewhere where it's streaming right now, go for it, because this is one that I'll probably in the future want to give a more in-depth review into, because this one really, really surprised me big time. So very, very powerful acting, like really powerful acting. Both these lead guys do tremendous work. It's very, very good stuff. Very raw, very emotional, with everything, like the intensity of the violence, the intensity of the intimacies, everything. Really good stuff. So, Femme, keep it in mind. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.